All right, here we go. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. And we're doing this every single day to practice consistency. Right? You don't have to practice consistency every day. If you show up 3, 4 times a week, that'll be great. But I'll be here every single day helping support everybody else to show up and do some stretching. All right. So if you're ready, let's get warming up. I'm gonna adjust this light so it's pointing towards me a little bit more and not just off to the side. And let's get ready to go. We're gonna warm up with something called hip cars. All right. They look a little bit like this. We're gonna bring our knee up as high as we can, directly in front. We're gonna open up that hip directly to the left. Wee! Open, 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 open. We're flexing our glutes to help pull that leg open. Then we're gonna rotate the leg so that the ankle comes up and the knee is staying about horizontal, but rotated forward. All right. We're going to try and get this nice straight line in the side. Then we're going to rotate some more. We're going to bring the ankle up. We're going to bring the knee down, and we're going to get a crazy, crazy little hamstring thing going on right here. It's going to be a lot. Don't worry about it. Bring that leg down and back when you're ready to switch out of it because your hamstrings are about to cramp up over there. And when we bring the leg back, I want you to focus on contracting the hamstrings. I want you to contract the glutes. I want you to feel the stretch right here in the front of your hip. That is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of those on the left side, 10 of those on the right side. Let's get ready to go. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's 1. Remember, the goal of hip cars is to work your maximum range of motion, using your muscles to pull yourself into crazy positions and keep on going. Open. Rotate. Rotate some more. Down and back. That's 3. High knee. High knee some more. High knee again. Open. Open again. Rotate. Rotate. And bring that leg down and back. I think that's 4, right? Is that only 4? Man, I feel like 4 was really intense. Rotate. Down and back. That's 5. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 6. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back, that's 7. The reason why these are so intense and we're trying so hard is because these muscles tend to be pretty weak on most people. And when they're weak, it becomes much harder for you to control your legs, for you to do cool things like kick people in the face. And maybe that's not the cool thing you want to do, but side splits are included in those cool things, right? We're working on hip mobility right now, and we finished up this leg. We're going to move on to the next leg. Hip cars on this side. We're doing the same thing we just did on this side, but on the other leg. Ready? We're doing 10. Let's go. High knee. Open. Whew. I'm off balance. If you're off balance, hold on to something like a wall. Rotate the leg up. Rotate, 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 rotate. Bring the leg down and back. That's 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 2. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 3. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 4. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 5. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 6. 4 more. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. 7. Knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 8. 2 more. Come on. Lift that knee. Lift it some more. Keep lifting. Open it up. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Down and back. That's 9. Last one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Whew. Shake out your legs. Do a little wiggle. Do a little shake. Get loose. All right. That was our hip cars going forward. And it's the first half of our first warm-up exercise. To finish this warm-up exercise, we're going to go in reverse. All right. We're going to flex the hamstrings. We're going to flex the glutes. We're going to bring the leg down and back behind us. Then we're going to lift that leg up to the side like we're ready to kick our enemies. I don't know why I'm so into kicking enemies today, but we're kicking our enemies. And we're going to bring the knee down, lift the ankle up. All right. Rotate, 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 rotate as much as you can. Then we're going to rotate the other way. Lift the knee up, bring the ankle down. And finally, we're going to bring the knee to the front. And that is 1 rep. We're doing 10 of these. Let's go. Stand up nice and straight and tall. Flex those core muscles. Stomp your foot into the ground. Spread those toes. Clamp down on the ground for balance. Hold on to something for balance if you also need that. And let's go. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. knee, that's 1, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 2, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 3, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 4, keep going, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's say 5 ready, 6, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 7, I'm off balance, give me a second, let me catch up, hop a little bit, and let's go, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 8, 2 more, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 9, last one. Let's make it count. Really try to contract those muscles. Lift that leg up, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, lift behind you. Try to keep your hips and your torso stable. If you can, lift that leg up to the side. Lift, 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 lift. Rotate that knee and ankle. Ooh. Rotate the other way. Bring that knee forward, and we're done. That is hip curls on the left leg completed, or whatever leg this looks like for you guys. This leg is done. We got one last leg to do. Get ready to go. If you need to catch your breath, breathe. Hopefully you're not talking a whole bunch like I am, so it's easier to catch your breath. And let's go. Core tight. Stomp your foot in the ground. Spread those toes. Grip the floor. And if you need to hold on to something for balance, please do. Let's begin. Leg back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 1. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 2. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 3. Whoa, I'm off balance. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 4. Keep going. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 6. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 7. Remember, the goal here is to contract your muscles, to push them into crazy positions using your own muscle power. So, it's supposed to be able to go into those positions and get stronger, get more control, so your hips move better. All right. And if you're in a martial art or something, when your hips move better with power and control, you can also kick people much better. All right. Back to the kicking people in the face thing. 9. I think it's the last one. Let's go back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. Just to be clear, I don't actually do martial arts, and I don't think I'm nearly good enough at kicking to kick anybody in the face. Maybe like a 7-year-old, perhaps. So when I say kick people in the face, I say it as like a joke, not as like an actual, attack. Anyways, we're gonna move on into our second warm-up exercise because we just finished our first one. That was it. The second warm-up exercise is called the elephant walk. All right. So I want you to stand up nice and straight and tall. I want you to fold at the hips, bring your belly button down towards the ground. If you can, just try and relax here for a second. Give yourself a second. Breathe, inhale. Exhale. Let your body flop over into the floor and chill. All right. Next, we want to be feeling this in the hamstrings. All right. We're gonna add some movement now to really, really get into those hamstrings. I want you to bend one knee. I want you to straighten out the other leg. I want you to fold your belly button down towards the ground a little bit. You can adjust, you can shimmy a little bit, widen your stance to see if there's a more comfortable position for you. And we're going to switch the leg that's bent. We're going to switch back and forth. All right? So, boom. Other leg is bent. The leg that was bent is now straight. We're going to go and switch back to the other side. Keep on feeling it in your hamstrings. Take it nice and slow. Make sure, oh man, it's full of suffering and unhappiness, and keep going. All right. There isn't an exact number that we're going to do, and that's because I'm going to tell you about the rest of the show, and I'm going to make sure that we do these as long as it takes to tell you about it. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to stay consistent, to help each other stay consistent, and to make the suffering that we do a little bit more fun, a little bit more easy to stay consistent with. All right? If you like working on your hip mobility, you need a little bit of that. If you want to work so much hip mobility, eventually get into some side splits, and if you like the idea of having a whole bunch of weirdos on the internet doing side split stretching and consistency work at 9 p.m. Eastern, then make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep on coming back because we'll be here doing this. All right. Now that you have heard what the show is about, we're gonna take up the intensity of our elephant walk. All right. I want you to bring your belly button down a little bit deeper, fold a little bit more, go a little bit closer to the ground, and keep on switching. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. Pop into a little bit of squat. Come on into standing. That is our elephant walk warm up exercise number 2. Shake out your legs, shake out your arms, flop, 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 and we're going to move on into warm up exercise number 3. We're going to get into the position where you're just in. So one leg is bent, one leg is straight, and our belly buttons are folded forward. All right. From here, what we're going to do is called thoracic rotation. The thoracic spine is basically the middle chunk of your spine. Rotation is this motion. All right. What we're going to do from here, this leg is bent. We're going to take the arm on the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to the straight leg. We're going to push off that shin bone. We're going to help ourselves rotate so that we can stick our other arm straight up into the air. We're going to rotate our neck to look at that hand. And then we're going to try and reach back over our shoulder, but we're going to breathe first. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Whew. When you are exhaling, take your time. Let the air slowly out of your lungs. Be crazy loud like you're blowing out a ridiculous set of candles on a cake. All right, as much air go as you want. Maybe not that loud. You're not dragging and trying to breathe fire. That's good. All right. Other side. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Push on that leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Woo. That is 1 rep. We're doing 5 of these in total. Take your time with it. Yours does not have to look like mine. Reach for what you can. Yours does not have to be explosive. It does not have to be fast. Take your time with it. I talk fast. That does not mean you have to move fast. Let's go. Bent leg, bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Whew. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. In case I didn't make myself clear, I want you exhaling because it takes a lot of pressure out of your ribs, out of your chest, so that you can loosen up a little bit. All right? It's like a can of Coke. When it's full of air, it's full of pressure. You can try and like squish it and crush it in your hands. Nothing's gonna happen for most people unless you're crazy, ridiculously strong. But as soon as it's empty, you dumped out all the drink, you drink the drink, and go, hoo-ah, and you feel like the Hulk and smash your can of Coke. We're trying to do that, hoo-ah, smash the can of Coke. You need to release the pressure. If you're holding your breath, you got a whole bunch of pressure. All right? There's a question. Tell me what the question is. If you have lower back issues, is it wise to do these exercises? If you have low back issues, is it wise to do these exercises? It depends on what your low back issue is. If rotation does not feel good, you should skip it. But it should be possible for you to very gently try to test it. If it feels really unhappy for you, as soon as you start, you can feel free to skip them. Yeah, that'll probably be the safest way to go. Test it slightly. We're not lifting any weights, we're not holding anything heavy. So as long as you don't explosively jerk yourself into a crazy position, if you slowly work your way into it and find out what is comfortable for you, you should be able to find out soon enough whether or not it's good. And on that note, I think we probably have 2 of these left. So let's cover it from the top so you know exactly what you're doing right now. We are bending forward a little bit, bring our belly button down towards the ground. One leg is bent, one leg is straight. We're taking the arm from the bent leg side, we're reaching across to that straight leg. So far, all we've done is basically bent forward and grabbed our ankle. All right? From here, if you're still feeling okay, I want you to inhale and lift your other arm up into the air. I want you to rotate your neck to look at the hand. If this is more or less okay, or if you're sort of at this angle, then great. All right. On the next couple of seconds, I want you to take a breath in. Inhale. I want you to exhale, and I want you to try and reach your arm back behind you. Bring your whole torso with you. And if it starts getting really uncomfortable, feel free to stop going that deep. All right. Otherwise, keep going. And that, I think, is 4 for everybody else, right? Bent leg, straight leg. Grab that straight leg. Open it up. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 4. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 5. And inhale. Exhale, reach. For a lot of people, if you have low back pain, it might be at a very specific thing that causes it to be uncomfortable. So don't write off your whole entire low back just because one movement hurts. It might be a little bit more complicated than that. You might be able to experiment, right? Especially if you're not doing something that's really intense, like if you're not jumping rope, you're not trying to take a couple times your body weight into some of your joints. If it's some gentle motion, some gentle movement, even though I talk fast, even though I look like I'm moving fast, you don't have to move that fast for most of the things that we're doing, okay? Whew, so hopefully that gives you some guidance on how to take the next couple of exercises. We are done with our thoracic rotation. That's the third of our warm-up exercises. We're moving on into the fourth warm-up exercise, our final warm-up exercise. Hopefully you're already sweating and ready for the stretches, but we're going to wrap up with some Cossack switches. They look a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs, kind of wide, not crazy, and we're going to slowly come on down and try to get into a deep squat on one leg. All right? Yours might not look like this. If you're brand new to this show, you might be right here. Just doing a little bit of a side squat looking thing. All right? Wherever you are, our next step is to move our butts that away. All right? And for somebody a little bit higher up, it might just look like boom, come on across. If you're a little deeper to the ground, you might want to put your hands down, give yourself a little bit of support, waddle yourself over, and switch on over to the other side. All right? Wherever you are, that's the goal. Scooting your butt over to the other side. Pause here for a second. If you want, you can take a breath in. Inhale. Exhale. Let that pressure out of your lungs. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into that stretched out position at the bottom. And then come on back. Whee! That is 1 rep. I think we've only done 1. Let's keep going. We're going to do 10 in total. I'm going to scoot a little further back so the camera doesn't cut me off. And let's continue. Hands down. Scoot your butt over to the other side. If you're high enough off the ground that you don't need to use your hands, feel free to skip it. If you're a little bit higher up, also great. That's absolutely fine. Our goal over time, not today necessarily, over several weeks, is to get lower and lower and lower to the ground as you get more comfortable getting into a deeper stretched out position. All right? I think that's 3. Let's keep going. If you realize you can keep doing this without using your hands, feel free to continue without your hands. No pressure. You can do whatever you want. But if you're looking for more of a challenge, skip the hands. If you're looking for more of a challenge, you can try and sit up a little bit straighter. Bring your chest up, stick your head up into the ceiling, extend your arms out in front of you, and keep going. That is 5, I think. Let's do another. Across and back. Make sure you're breathing, especially when we're in this resting position, sort of on either side. I know it might not feel like it's a resting position, but it's not nearly as miserable as this part right here. All right. Once you're done 6, we got options. If your knees are aching, they're telling you, I don't like this, we can make this a little bit gentler. If you come up a little bit first, then come across, it might be a little bit easier on your knees. All right, and then sink back down, sink low, breathe, get low, then come back up, across, and down. All right, how far up you come is completely up to you. It just has to be higher than what you've been doing so far. All right, if you've been going across at this level, maybe just bring your legs together and coming across at an even higher point. That's okay, because we're focused on you making progress, not you trying to copy what I'm doing. All right. Once you've done a couple of these, we're going to wrap up our final 2 squats, hopefully, maybe 1 squat, with some squatting, which I want to look something like this. I want you to put all your weight into this bent leg. I want you to go, power through, try your best to come on up into standing. If you can't, and you got to give up, that's fine, don't worry about it. But this is what we want to slowly work towards, all right? Come down on the other side with control, and boom. That is a squat. At this point, I have no idea how many you've done. We've probably done more than 10 because I did a couple of demonstration things back and forth. So if you've done like one of them in one of the back and forth things I've done, you've done 10. So we're ready to wrap up our warm-up. We just did 10 Cossack switches, Cossack slidey things, and a Cossack squat. Clean up, all right? Hopefully, your hips, your knees, your ankles feeling a little bit more warmed up. Your spine is feeling loose from all the rotation, And I can't remember what else we did because I've been talking so much about all these other random things. Hamstrings and hips. There we go. Boom. Covered. All right. If you somehow don't know, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency because you can have the best plan ever, but if you don't follow it, you never show up for it, it's not the best plan for you. So, if you need a little bit of help practicing consistency, if you like hip mobility, if you want to work on your side splits, which is just advanced hip mobility, then make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back because we do this every single day. All right, we're going to move on into our first stretch. It is the hamstring stretch. What I want you to do is grab, a little bit of padding to protect your knee. And the reason for that is because we're going to be kneeling. The way we're going to do our hamstring stretch is going to look a little bit like this. And we're going to fold forward. Whee! You don't need anything fancy to pad your knee. If you got an old flip-flop, if you got some sneakers that are extra cushioning and soft and maybe a little dirty, a little ugly you want to wear outside, perfect. Stick it under your knee and we're ready to go. If you got decorative pillows, couch cushions, those will all work. Stuffed animals your dog has ripped apart, toys it has ripped apart, perfect. Stick some stuffing back in, stick it under your knee, and we're ready to go. Let's continue. I want you to get into this kneeling position where you're kneeling upright. All right, nice and straight line, not too crinkly, not too bent, not to whatever other position you can imagine. And then I want you to extend your leg out directly in front of you from here. All right. Our next step is to bring our belly button, this right here, down to the thigh. We're going to try and touch those two things together. And we're going to do it nice and slow with control and breathing. If you cannot touch, don't worry about it. Don't stress. We're just going in that direction. All right, inhale. Exhale, and we. So as you get stuck, I want you to just pause. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Let your body flop over that leg. That's two. Let's go for a third one. Inhale. Exhale. And flop. Let your body rest over that leg. That's three. Now that you feel like you've gotten a little bit deeper into your stretch, amazing. We're going to add a little bit of movement. All right. What I want you to do is bring the knee up like this. I want you to fold your chest down towards your knee as best as you can. You might need to bring your knee up much higher for you to be able to bring your chest down. If you can't reach, don't worry about it. Just try your best, right? And from here, we're going to put our hands down. We're going to try and straighten out our leg again while trying to keep our chest relatively low. So we get a nice, crazy stretch in our hamstring. All right, let's do it again. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Oof, that's two. Keep going. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's three. Knee, chest, straighten. That's four. The straightening part is really important, right? I know we're doing reps, but don't be chasing the speed of the rep. Get that extra crazy stretch at the end of each one instead. Cool? All right, that's five. It's time for us to get a little bit deeper into our stretch, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do an inhale, exhale, and we're going to fold. We're going to take a huge breath in on that inhale, and then we're going to slowly exhale all of that air while trying to focus on bringing the belly button down towards the ground. All right, let's go. Inhale, big inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 belly button down. Woo. Oh man, inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg again. Third time's a charm. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Right now, you shouldn't have too much pressure in the neck or the upper back or the mid back. You shouldn't be trying to smash your body into that leg. We're genuinely just relaxing. We're letting gravity do its thing. We're just flopping over. All right? Now, it's time to move again. Let's go. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's one. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's two. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's three. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Last one. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's five. All right. We're going to fold a little bit deeper. Y'all ready? Inhale, exhale, fold. Let's do it. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Breath out. Woo. Inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Third time's the charm. Inhale, relax. And we are deep in that stretch. We're going to hang out here for 30 seconds. That's the whole thing. That's all we got left. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. Bring your knee up. Come back into sort of something like a lunging position, a Captain Morgan's pose for a second, and bring your heel back in. Whew. Slowly come back into that kneeling position. I want you to flex your glutes like somebody's about to spank you. Protect your butt. Ah! And then I want you to protect your abs like somebody's about to punch you. Go. Ah! And after you've clenched your core, you've clenched your glutes, get back into that nice, strong, standing tall position. We're going to continue with another leg. Well, we only have 2 legs. With the other leg, not another leg. All right. Leg out in front. Get ready to fold. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Wee. As soon as you get stuck, inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Chill here for a second. Relax. And let's go again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Third time's the charm. Let's go. Inhale. Relax. We're going to move. All right. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. When the back is rounded throughout these movements, it is because you are relaxed. Right? It is not because you're desperately trying to smash your face into your knee. That is not the goal. The goal is to chill and let the movements, let breathing do most of the heavy lifting here. It's not lifting anything heavy at all. Just pretend I didn't make a reference to weightlifting while I was telling you to relax. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out, breathe. Oh, all right. We're going to inhale, exhale, fold. We're going to get a little bit deeper into our stretch. All right. Big breath in, inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Whew. Inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale, relax. Try to sink a little bit deeper. Fold your body into that leg. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. That's 3 rounds. Let's go. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 1. Knee. Chest. Straighten. That's 2. Knee. Chest. Straighten. That's 3. Pause for a second here. Focus on that straightening for a second. And knee up. Chest down. Straighten. That's 4. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten. That's 5. All right, it's time for us to go just a little bit deeper this last time, I promise. Big breath in, inhale. Exhale, unfold. Woo. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Again, inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. 3rd time's a charm. Inhale, relax. And knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. Take your time. Really feel that stretch when you straighten it out. You don't have to rush this. It's not supposed to be explosive. It's not supposed to be fast. If I'm talking fast, it's because I want to make sure we get through a lot of instructions, not because I'm trying to rush you through the movement. So take your time. All right. We've done our 5 extensions. I think it's time to just hold it here and chill. Ready? Let's go. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. If you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure in that knee that's straightened out right here, you can give it a slight bend. When you bend the knee, it'll take pressure off your hamstrings, but it'll also let you fold way deeper down. So fold down a little bit more. All right. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch lunge forward. Captain Morgan pose. Bring that leg in underneath you, and whew, that is our first stretch. We're going to move on into stretch number 2. It's called the butterfly stretch or the tailor's pose, depending on where you talk about stretching. And get rid of that cushion. We don't need it anymore. Just toss it to the side. Hopefully it doesn't break anything. And let's sit down. Bring your butt over to the wall. Set your low back, your shoulders, your head all resting against that wall. Bring your feet together. Pull your feet in towards your groin, and we're ready to begin. This is our starting position. I want you to try your best to use your glutes, your outer thigh muscles to bring your knees down into the ground. All right? It's not going to be easy, but what I want you to focus on is feeling a more intense stretch here in the inner thighs and seeing your knees go down towards the ground. If you're making some progress in that direction, you're doing great. We're going to move on. Take your hands, apply a little bit of pressure, just inside of the knee a little bit. Try to apply pressure straight down. Words. All right. We're going to breathe. We're going to hold for 30 seconds. As you exhale, I want you to try to apply a little bit more pressure, a little bit more pressure, a little bit more pressure, and see if you can push your knees much, much further towards the ground. If you feel a sharp, intense pain, stop, cut it out. If it's just mild, regular discomfort because you're stretching, fine. Keep holding pressure. All right? Let's go. 30 seconds. Inhale. Exhale, push. 27, 26, 25, 24. Inhale. Push. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Inhale. Push. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, push. Bring those legs down. 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. For good measure, just hang out here for a little bit. Breathe one more time. Inhale. You don't have to apply more pressure unless you want to. And we're done. Relax. Let your hands go. Shake out your wrist a little bit. Your wrist might be quite tired from trying to push your legs down into the ground. Give them a little gentle wiggle, gentle shake. Your wrists are pretty fragile in the grand scheme of things, so don't go whipping them around too hard. Just a little bit of gentle motion should help loosen them up. Next, your legs. I want you to flap the wings of this butterfly, because remember, this is called a butterfly stretch. So flap your butterfly wings and make them move a little bit. Once your legs are moving, your wrists are moving, you're done flapping, we're ready to move on into our third stretch. We got some pancake to do. We're going from butterfly to pancake. Coughing and choking on my own saliva. Gross. All right. We're moving on into our third stretch, the standing pancake. For most of us, for most beginners, the standing pancake is going to be really good because when you fold forward from a standing position, your upper body is going to get pulled down by gravity. All right. But before we get too deep into that, make sure your legs are kind of decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy. This is fine. And we're going to fold forward, bring our belly buttons down towards the ground. All right. When you're in this position, gravity is pulling your whole entire upper body down into the ground. If you extend your arms up in front of you, that will get crazier. And that's what we want. If you have less balance, you're a little afraid of toppling over, then please do a seated pancake. I recommend something a little bit higher than this stool. Actually, I got another stool right here. Let me just knock everything. Oh, that's sick. It fits perfectly on top. I've never tried that before. If it's a little bit higher, your butt is resting on something, you can open up your legs a decent amount, and you fold on forward. You might be able to get into a similar position where gravity is pulling you down. All right. For most beginners, you're going to want something really high up so that you can lean forward, all right? So that gravity can do its job here, which is to pull you down. But if you're otherwise good with your balance, we're ready to keep going with our standing pancake. Cool? All right. Once again, legs wide, folding forward, belly button down, extending the arms if you want to make it a little bit harder. We got options. If you want, you can let your legs go a little bit wide. Cool? If you want, you can stick your butt a little bit further back. It's going to help lift your chest up a little bit, and it's going to make the stretch feel more intense because you're going to be closer to horizontal rather than sort of leaning forward and down. Cool? All right. That's it. 30 seconds. I hope you're in position. Open those legs wide. Fold forward, bring the belly button down, extend the arms, stick your butt back. 30 seconds, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. I'm going to do a couple of different variations for you to see. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Put your hands on the ground, bring your legs in together. If you need to, wiggle your toes in, wiggle your heels in, wiggle your toes in, wiggle your heels in, wiggle your toes and heels and toes and heels and toes and heels and toes until you are back into standing. Slowly walk your hands up your thighs. We are done with the pancake. All right? The pancake works two major muscle groups. The first one is your hamstrings. Anytime you're folding forward, your hamstrings are going to be like, hey, I know you're folding forward. This sucks. Number two, you're working on your inner thigh muscles, all right? The wider your legs are, the longer we stay in that position, the more intense the contraction holding our body weight up here in the inner thighs is going to be. So, the deeper you go, the more intense that hold is. And if you're feeling it, that's why. But there's a pro to that, all right? When you hang out in this position for a long period of time, that contraction is building up strength. It's making you stronger. It's making you have more control of that position. And that, at the end of the day, we do want that because it helps with our side splits, all right? That is our third stretch. We're going to move on into a fourth stretch. It's a little bit more chill. Yesterday we did the pigeon. Today we're going to do the figure four. If you're a regular, hop into whatever you want. But today I'm going to explain the figure four for everybody else that's new, all right? We're taking one leg. We're crossing it over to the other side. We're grabbing that leg. We're bringing it up to our belly button. We're bringing our belly button down to our leg. It looks a little bit like this. All right. You should be feeling a stretch a little bit here in the side of the glute. Should be feeling a little bit of something here in the hamstrings. You might even be feeling something here where you're actually doing that folding. We're going to take this to the floor to do the figure four stretch. So when you're ready, come on down, lay down, and enjoy the fact that you're able to lay down now. Whew. Take a couple of nice deep breaths, and let's get ready to go. We're taking one leg. We're crossing it over to the other side. I want you to take this knee. I want you to push it out that way so you got a nice triangle in front of you. Okay? From here, I'm going to stick one hand through that triangle, the other hand around the outside of that leg. We're going to grab onto that knee and we're going to pull it into our chest. All right? I want you to slowly inhale, exhale, and lean back. Pull that leg in towards you. All right, inhale, exhale, and pull. Inhale, exhale, and pull. Inhale, exhale, and pull. Pull that leg in towards your chest, and we're ready to begin. We're going to hold this position for 30 seconds. And as we go, we're going to try and pull that leg deeper and deeper and deeper into our chest. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. If you're feeling a little bit of achiness in this knee, the one that's crossed over, you can cup the knee or you can stick it in your elbow pit directly to pull it in towards your chest. It should take some of the pressure off of that knee because you're pulling directly on the thigh to bring it in. All right? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Relax. Oh, man. All right, let's do the other side. Drop both legs. Take one, cross on over to the other side, open up that leg so the knee is kind of pushing back that way. Take this nice triangle, stick your hands through the triangle around the outside of that leg, and grab onto that knee, lean back, pull that leg in, inhale, exhale, pull on that leg some more, inhale, exhale, pull on that leg some more, just like last time. If your knee is feeling achy, cup the knee, stick it in your elbow, do whatever you want to help give it a little extra support. And one more time, inhale, exhale, and pull. 30 seconds, 29, 28, 27, 26. By the way, it is totally normal for one leg to be way more flexible than the other in a whole bunch of different ways. Maybe you noticed it in your hamstrings. Maybe you're noticing it now in your pigeon. That is normal. All right. In the future, you might want to start your stretches with the leg that is less flexible because I tend to explain a little bit more. And if I spend more time on it, you get a little bit more time in there. All right. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's our stretch. Lay down, chill, catch a breath. Whew. We've done 4 of our 5 stretches. If you're new to the show, you might not even know that we had 5 stretches, but we've done 4 of 5, and we're ready to move on into some side splits. If you've never done side splits before, do not worry. We are going to break it down into little steps. We're going to explain it, and you can always stop wherever you want. You don't have to push yourself, and I'll keep on reminding you throughout. All right? Before we get into the next step, though, I think it's probably time for me to remind you that this is a 45 to 60-minute long side split and hip mobility show, and we do this every single day to practice consistency, build a little bit of hip mobility, and hopefully have some fun while working on some stuff that causes you to suffer all the time. Side splits. All right. Before we continue, I want you to go grab something for hand support. All right. We have already seen big stool and little stool. The job of this hand support is basically to put your hands on so that you can more comfortably, more safely, more stably get into a position where your legs are a little bit wider open, all right? Because we're working on side splits. It does not have to be super tall. In fact, I recommend something a little bit lower, like so. But if you do have something taller, like a regular standard chair, it doesn't have to be a fancy stool or whatever, you can always put your elbows on it as you get lower down to the ground, all right? So hands, elbows. I recommend you find something that is relatively stable, that's relatively sturdy, so that you can put all your weight into it, first and foremost. And that sound was because I hadn't set it up all the way. It wasn't because I was breaking it. But I want you to be able to carry your weight on it. And we want it to be light enough that you can kind of shove it out of the way when we don't want it to be in your way. Cool? But if you have to make a compromise, it's not easy to slide away, but it's durable. A coffee table will do, an ottoman will suffice. And once you have grabbed your hand support, we're ready to move on. All right? I want you to take your hand support, place it somewhere in front of you, and then move your butt all the way to a wall. Cool? Hopefully, your butt right now is resting on a wall because we're about to begin. Take your hand support, bring it a little closer to you, and we're going to open up our legs. All right? Nothing crazy, just taking a wide Superman pose. Dun, 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 dun. And from here, we're going to fold. We're going to bring our belly buttons down towards the ground. All right? Wee! Fold. I want you to put your hands down on your hand support so you got some extra support right away. And I want you to slowly open up your legs a little bit. Find a comfortable position. Doesn't have to be crazy wide. Doesn't have to be anything at all other than comfortable. All right. Right now, your butt is resting on the wall. Your hands are on your hand support, and your feet are down flat. What we're going to do next is rotate our legs so that, boom, our heels are down, our toes are up, our knees are pointing up. This rotates part of our thigh bone so it doesn't smash into our hip bone. I'm not going to get into the details, but we need to do this. All right. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. We got to do this on both sides. Boom, heels down, toes up, knees up. If your hands are on your hand support, your butt is against the wall, your heels are down, your toes are up, we're ready to get a little bit deeper. Try to scoot your hand support in towards your legs a little bit and see if you can slowly bring yourself into a slightly wider position. All right. Yours does not have to look like mine. We're just trying to get a little bit wider than wherever you were at before. When you've gotten into a slightly lower position, what we care about most is finding a comfortable, secure position. All right. Right now, your weight is on your heels, your hands are on your hand support, your butt is against the wall. That is very intentional. We want to have as much ability to support ourselves as possible so that not one muscle group is going, oh my God, this is too much, and making you suffer. All right. We're doing this because if you felt like you're about to lose balance, if you felt like you're going to tip over, if you felt like you're about to lose control, your muscles are going to start tensing up real hard to keep you from collapsing. And when it starts tensing up real hard, it is the exact opposite of what we want, which is to relax, to drop into a deeper, stretched out position. So, hopefully, you have wiggled your butt around, you've adjusted your hands, you've wiggled your legs around, found a comfortable spot, and you're thinking to yourself, I could hang out here for a little bit if I needed to. That's doable. It's not that crazy. It's not impossible. And once you're feeling this way, we're ready to breathe. All right. Inhale, big breath in. Inhale. Hold. Slowly exhale. Let your air out of your lungs. See if you can let your legs go a tiny bit wider. Just fall down into the ground a tiny little bit. All right. If you're not moving anymore, don't worry about it. Don't feel pressure to slam your butt into the ground. That's not what this is about. It's about relaxing and seeing if you can drop a little bit deeper. All right. Inhale. Hold. Slowly exhale and see if you can drop a little deeper into your stretch. I promise if you're hearing that sound, it's not farting, it's me sliding deeper into a stretch. All right. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. We are doing pretty good at this point. But if you want to try, you can do a little wiggle to the right, a little wiggle to the left, little wiggle to the right, little wiggle to the left. See if you get just a tiny little bit more. If you are not cool with that and you're like, no, no, remember this is optional and you don't have to. But that also means we're ready to start our 30 seconds. We're hanging out in this position for 30 seconds. Our toes are up, our knees are up, our head is basically pointing up into the ceiling. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. If you can, scoot your hand support out of the way so you can walk your hands forward a little bit, so you give yourself a little bit more room so you can pull your legs in underneath you. Whew. Take your time. I'm talking fast so that you know what you got to do, not because you have to rush this. All right. Oh, that is our first side split. Hopefully you're kneeling. You're just chilling for a second here, catching your breath. Whew. And I don't know if I told you this yet, but we're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits, so we're not done. We're not anywhere close to done. We got 2 more rounds of side splits. I can't figure out what to do with my fingers. Counting is hard. 2 rounds of side splits left. What we got to do in between, just like before, is to relax, reduce some of the tension in our bodies so that we can get back into a side split. So come back up into standing. Breathe. Take a couple of steps. Make sure your legs are working, and I want you to grab onto something for balance, for support, and I want you to shake out an ankle. All right? The reason why we're shaking that ankle is because it should be easy to see that it's flopping around, and it's shaking, it's going loose and floppy, and that's what we want. We want to shake it out, relax it. And as you get more and more and more and more relaxed in your ankle, and it starts flopping all sorts of crazy places, the muscles that could be holding your ankle back from being all floppy have to be relaxed. All right, you're seeing the proof. If it was tense, you'd be like, and that's. So switch over to the other side. Shake out your other ankle. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. If you want, you can start combining other parts of your leg. You can kind of go up a little bit. You can go back and forth. You can sort of like wiggle up and down and start adding a little bit to it. The goal here is just to visually be able to check and see that your muscles are relaxed, to force them to be relaxed because they're just trying to be floppy and loose. And hopefully, over time, your brain learns this person is just trying to get loose. It's okay. We can relax now. And associates whatever shaky movement you're about to do with relaxation. All right, we're gonna move on into our hips. I want you to pull all your weight into one leg. Big toe is down in the other leg, and I want you to really open up this hip so that this knee is pointing way far out that way. Okay, you're gonna flex some muscles in your glutes to do that, and I want you to bring your knee in. Whoo! And then I want you to bring the knee out. And then the knee in. Your muscles are working to pull your leg into as much range of motion as possible. These knees are basically touching right here, right? And then when we do the opposite, this leg is going way past like 90 degrees straight out that way. And when you've built up some strength, once you've built up some control, you can pick up the speed and go a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can turn into some sort of crazy dance move, have some fun with it, because otherwise these parts are kind of boring. All right, let's do the other side. All your weight on one leg. Big toe is down. Bring that knee all the way in, and all the way out, and all the way in, and all the way out, and all the way in out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and out. And then, if you are new to the show, focus on just building that range of motion, building that control, really flexing the muscles, getting your leg to go where it should be going, where we want it to go. And if you're feeling a little bit more cool, you're like, I got this, don't worry, you can go a little faster, you can be a little bit more relaxed. All right? At the end of the day, the goal of all this is to get your hips moving. And then eventually, once you got some control over your hips, we want to shake it out. We want to be relaxed. We want to be loose because we just did some side splits. All right. So if you can, I want you to just shake it out. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. We're doing like 1/3 of the range of motion that we were doing on that leg, on that hip. We're just going shake, 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 wiggle, 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 wiggle. And hopefully, because we took our sweet time explaining all that stuff, you're relaxed enough to get into side split number 2. Scoot your butt up to the wall. Put your hand support in front of you. I'm going to switch up the hand support because I haven't used the other one for this show in, I think, ever. And I'll see how that performs compared to the regular one that I use so that you can see with whatever you're using, probably at a higher level, what it would look like to be using it. Cool? All right. Butt up against the wall. Open up those legs. Fold forward, hands on your hand support. Whee! Oh, that was quick. All right. From here, open up your legs just a little bit. Find a comfortable spot. Hang out here for just a second. Do a little wiggle. Scoot your butt around. Find a nice stable position. And let's rotate the legs. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Hands are on your hand support. Butt is against the wall. We're going to slowly slide on down towards the ground. If you can, find a comfortable, secure position where you feel safe, where you don't feel like you're about to tip over, where you don't feel like you're about to lose balance, where your muscles can almost potentially, possibly kind of relax. All right, big breath in, inhale, hold, exhale, and sink a little deeper into the stretch. Whew. Let's do it again. Inhale, hold, exhale, sink a little deeper into your stretch. Inhale, hold, exhale. See if you can sink into your stretch. I think that's 3. All right, great. From here, we're going to do a little bit of a wiggle from the left to the right, to the left, to the right. See if you can get a tiny little bit more. If you can't get anything else out, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We're ready to hang out in side split number 2. All right. In side split number 2, what we're going to do is going to be a little bit different from side split number 1. We're going to try and push our hips forward a little bit, push our whole body forward a little bit, so that instead of our knees pointing directly up, they're pointing sort of at a diagonal, at like 45-ish degrees, so that you feel the stretch more in your inner thighs. All right, that's what we want. We're going to hang out here for 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. I forgot I told you I was going to use a stool. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. If the stretch doesn't feel intense enough for you, you can sort of stick your butt back a little bit. If your arms are extended, you can bend your elbows a little bit, and that should make it a lot harder on your hips. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. Move your hand support out of the way. Crawl forward a little bit. Give your body a little bit more room. Bring your legs in underneath you. Oh, grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. Breathe. Okay. That is side split number two. We're gonna move on into side split number three. Once we do some shaky, shaky, relaxy, relaxy stuff. All right. So come on back into standing. Take a couple of steps just to make sure your legs are working. Hold on to something for balance and let's go. Shake out the ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Shakety, shake, shake, shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Start somewhere gentle, easy, comfortable. Pick up the intensity as you feel comfortable. You don't have to go 0 to 100 and start going crazy if you don't want to. All right, you can take a time, build up a little bit, let your body relax, get smooth with it, and let's switch to the other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 and wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. Start relaxing more parts of your body. The shake, the wiggle, the flop helps with everything. You can just get your body to relax. It's going to be easier to do a lot of stretchy things when you can relax on command. All right? All right. Your ankles, hopefully, have confirmed that they're okay. We're going to move on to our hips. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. Knee is pointing out. We're bringing it in and out and 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 in and out. And one little shake. We're going to switch to the other side. Big toe is down. This leg is holding all the weight. This leg has almost no weight in it. And we're going in and out and 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 in and out. And of course, like I said many times, please do a version that makes sense for you, right? If you're working on control, you're working on trying to get maximum range of motion, please take as much time as you need to. When you got the extra control, you're just trying to have a little bit of fun, shake around, do some crazy leg things. Cool? All right. Hopefully that was enough to get you prepared for side split number three. Do another quick shake, flop around, wiggle, 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 wiggle. We prepare our whole body with some movement. We did that thoracic rotation to help warm up, to get your spine to chill so you can do crazy things like this with your arms. And hopefully you're having some fun with it. All right, let's go. We're getting into side split number three. Put your hand support in front of you, butt up into the wall. Take that wide stance. Fold forward, put your hands down, open up those legs. Find that comfortable-ish position to rotate those legs. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Hands are on their hand support. You're gonna need to adjust to find a comfortable position. Maybe pull the hand support towards you. Maybe you're gonna sit up a little bit more upright. Maybe your legs are gonna go wider. Whatever it is, find a comfortable spot where you don't feel like you're about to tip over, where you don't feel like you're about to slip, you don't feel like you're about to collapse into a little pile of you on the floor. And once you've found that spot, let's breathe. Big breath in, inhale. Hold. Exhale and relax. Ooh, see if we can sink a little bit deeper. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. Sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. Whew. That's two. Let's do it again. Third time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Every time you shift a little bit deeper, you might need to make a small adjustment with your hand support, with your butt, whatever it is. If you do, take it. All right. Don't worry about whatever my next timing of the next breath is. Just adjust, find a comfortable position so that you can relax. Cool? All right. Little wiggle, optional. Left, right, left, right, left, right. See if you can get a little bit more. If you can't, we're ready to go. I'm going to toss my hand support out of the way because I'm going to do a more intense version of the side split stretch, but you guys can do whichever one you prefer. We started with version number one, where our toes, our knees, our head are pointing up into the ceiling. We're doing number two, where our knees and our toes are kind of pointing forward at like a 45-ish degree angle to feel it more in our inner thighs. And I'm going to use my own muscles to hang out here for 30 seconds. I hope you're ready as well because I don't want to hang out for more than 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Put your hands down. Or if they were down, walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in underneath you. That is our third and final side split. Oh, man. All right. We are done with all the really hard stuff. All the really intense stuff, that's done. We're chilling. Come back up into standing when you can. Oh, if you're wobbling, you're a little unstable, that's okay. Ugh, we just did 3 crazy side splits, all right? Next, take a couple steps. Do a little shimmy, do a little celebration dance because you did all the hard stuff, and let's shake out our ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake some more, wiggle some more, flop some more. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. You are made of jello. Loose, soggy noodle, and let's switch over to the side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Since we're done with pretty much all of the workout in this show, if you want to just get super relaxed and you just want to go flop and go crazy and just shake out everything you got, I can't stop you. There's nothing else that you need to be functional for than flop, 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 shake, 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 wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Not that you'd be less functional after shaking it out, just, you know, shake it out. All right, we're going to move on to our hips. All your weight in one leg, big toe is down. We'll bring the knee in and out and in and out and in and out. The only thing that's actually moving is this thigh bone where it connects into your hip. All right, so we're using muscles here in the front of the hip and in our glutes to bring the knee in and out. I exaggerate a bunch with my arms to make it more fun, but you absolutely do not need the arms to be doing anything at all to do this movement. All right, and now that you know that, we can be ridiculous again. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and whew, shake out your leg. Switch over to the other side. All your weight on one leg. Big toe is down on the other. Bring the knee in and out, in and out, and 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 whew, shake it out one last time. We're basically done. We're gonna do a couple of quick joint checks just to make sure everything is moving okay. If you were able to shake out your leg like crazy, you're probably fine, but let's do some joint checks. We're gonna do some hip circles, all right? What I want you to do is find a decently wide stance and just slowly lean into your hips and go, ooh, that's tense. All right. And then come on around, do some circles. And around again. Take it nice and slow. Work those joints. If anything feels tight, needs a little bit extra love, you're like, ooh, this is kind of intense. What happens if I fold a little bit further this way? And you find that that is even more intense, feel free to hang out there for a little bit. All right? And when you're ready, come on around. Experiment a little. Be like, is this more intense? Is this more intense? Is this more intense? Oh, it's right here. It's right here. And when you're done going that way, come on back the other way. Sometimes weird things only feel crazy in one direction. That's okay. We're going to find it because we went both ways. All right. That. Hopefully, there's some hip circles and we're done. Let's continue with our final, actually last thing. We're going to do some calf raises from a squatting position. It's going to look a little crazy. You've probably never seen this before unless you've been on my show. But we're going to try and get a whole bunch of joints all working together all at the same time because efficiency, all right? Stand up nice and straight. Open up your legs decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy. It's not this, not your legs super close. It's not your legs going wide, all right? It's about hips width apart. From here, we're going to pop down into a squat. And in this squat, I want you to almost lean forward a little bit, like you're examining a bug over there and you're trying to stay far away, be like, what's that? Ew. And I want you to really feel like you're leaning that way, all right? Next, I want you to take your knees. I want you to point them that way too and get into this nice intense stretch in your Achilles tendon in your calves if you can, all right? When you lean forward with your torso and you push your knees that way, you're really shifting your center of balance so it wants to tip over. But your toes should kick in now to grip the floor. The arch of your foot should be kicking in to stay super stable to help keep you supported, to keep you from flopping over, and that's what we want. So from here, you're in position. Push those knees forward, feel that Achilles tendon and calf stretch. Put your hands down for a little support. Get into like a little sumo looking stance. If you can't get that low, feel free to hold on to something for some support. And we're going to do some calf raises. All right. From here, I want you to get up onto those toesies. Lift those heels up as high as you can. and bring them down. Once you come down, reset, get into that Achilles tendon stretch, that calf stretch, lean forward and come on back up. That's 2, reset, and 3, reset, and 4, reset, and 5, reset, and 6, reset, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and do as many as you want, but I'm calling it there. Whew, my quads are tired. All right, what we just did was extra crazy because we combined a whole bunch of things all into one super movement, right? We already talked about obviously the Achilles tendon and the calf muscle, and then we did the calf raises, so those were working. But we also talked about the toes, gripping into the floor, trying to keep you from toppling over because you're leaning way far that way, right? When your toes and your arch kicks in, that's really good. Your ankles, your calves, awesome. We were holding that squat for so long, your quads were definitely firing, letting you know they don't like it when you do that. And your low back, because your back was going all over there, was probably working pretty hard supporting your back. So your low back, your hips, your knees, your ankles, your toes, all the muscles in between. If you're able to do 75% of that movement, chances are you're probably working just fine. You're ready to go back to whatever else you got to do. All right. That is our live. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, practicing a little bit of consistency with me today. We do this side splits and hip mobility live every single day, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, which means we started an hour and 8 minutes ago. And we do this every day to practice consistency. You can have the best plan in the world, but if you can't follow it, it's not the best plan for you. So this show is designed to be something that can be very doable on a daily basis. You're not beating yourself up so much that you have to take several days off. You're going to be sore for forever. And hopefully, the goal, the intention is it helps you to feel motivated to come back, to get into the groove, to set a habit, to build some consistency. And when you have that consistency, you can take it into anything that you want. You want to go harder, go more hardcore, perfect, great. But if you go hardcore right away and you get sore, you don't want to come back, that's not going to help you make any progress, right? So that's what this show is about. I hope it helps you. I hope it's a tool to help you achieve some of your fitness goals. All right. Most of the other content that I make in short form is not about side splits. Most of the content I make is about trying to find a little bit of fun fitness and incorporating it into your day. All right. If you got 2 minutes waiting for coffee to come out the machine, you got 2 minutes waiting for your microwave to spin up some lunch, you got 2 minutes to do something really simple in place like some calf raises. All right. If you could do 2 minutes of calf raises, it'd be a crazy amount of calf raises. So don't sleep on them. Those 2 minutes count. Plus, your joints will really appreciate it. Right? Your joints don't get blood vessels pumping nutrients to them all the time like our muscles do. They take much longer to heal because of that. And that also means the only way for them to get nutrients, for them to clear waste, is if you're using the joints. They get nutrients through a system called synovial fluid, or they through synovial fluid. That's not the name of the system, but the way synovial fluid moves through your body is when you move your body. You moving is the pump that pumps the synovial fluid. It clears the gunky old stuff away, brings in fresh things, and it'll help your joints heal, help your joints recover. So if you have been just chronically achy for a long time. You've been babying an old injury. You've been babying a joint, and it's been months and months and months, years and years and years. Chances are a little bit of movement is going to help you out rather than hurt you. You don't have to go doing crazy things like suddenly jumping 10 feet into the air and like, doing parkour, right? When I say movement, I literally mean like doing a couple of very intentional knee bends and straightening for your knee. All right. So hopefully that is a little tidbit that helps you address some of your nagging aches, and we can at least take that away from the show. We're pretty much done. I don't think there's anything else I need to tell you about. It is Sunday night. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I think it's time for me to check out the chat and see how it's going. Che sends awesome emojis down into YouTube right now. Thank you so much. There's like 106 people on. This is the most people that have been on at the end of a live in a little bit. So thank you all for being here. I hope you had fun. If you got any questions, let me know in the chat, and I'll take a look and do my best. Che says, hey, 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 hey. All right, I'm gonna take a quick look at YouTube chat real quick because usually it's really fast. And Koki Timo says, hello, man. Hello, hello, hello. Suri Bum Bum says, hi. Koki Timi Says, "Damn, bro, these are hard. I think I shat my pants." Well, that's too bad. I hope. I hope. Oh no, he says I'm trying. Help, or seems like they might not have shat their pants. Queen Aura says you can hold on to a chair or a wall if needed. Yes, it is always good to use some hand support. All right. I specifically call it out for our side splits, but if you have a wall for basically everything that we do, the wall will always help. The wall is your best friend, right? If we're doing hip cars, we're lifting the knees all the way up, we're opening up that leg, we're rotating the leg, we're rotating some more, we're bringing the leg down and back. Perfect place to use the wall. I don't have a wall to use because otherwise I'd be really close over here and then you just see like a whole side of the door as part of like the shot on the camera. So unfortunately, I do this all day, and then I tell you, oh, I'm losing balance. Hold on, let me reset, and then lose balance, and I tell you, hold on, I'm gonna reset. And so please, if there's any moment where you feel like, man, my balance could use a little bit of work, you don't have to do it right in that moment. All right, you can do the balance work at some other time. Don't feel any shame. Go grab onto something for a little bit of support, and we can keep going. Cool. All right. What else we got? Kaylin says, whoosh. What did I whoosh about? I don't know. Keisha says, "What's up, Side Splits family?" Hello, hello, Keisha. Welcome back. It's good to see you. Let's see. It looks like it's about it on YouTube. Oh no, Hibiscus Dandelion says, "Hello, hello, hello." All right, I'm gonna scroll real quick. Deanna Evans on TikTok says, "Thanks. Felt good. Great. I'm glad we can wrap up your evening with a little bit of stretching. And I'm glad you're feeling good." What else we got? Travel Darcy says, "Looking good." User 5816 says, "Cool." Sunny says, "The stool is a great idea." Awesome. I'm glad you like the stool. Um, Sunny says, "Please share, comment, and like." Are you saying that about my live, or are you saying that about something else? I gotta scroll to find out. Let's see. Oh, Iceheart has shared the live a whole bunch of times. Oh, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Still says, "Can I join right now?" You can always join in because I try my best to explain things as we go, except for the last two side splits, like side split 2 and side split 3. I go a little bit fast because I spend a lot of time trying to make it feel safe, feel comfortable during side split 1. And then I try to just get through it so people aren't hanging out and suffering in their side split position for the whole entire time while I explain it. Um, so side split 2 and side split 3 might be the last two things that we do might be a little bit hard to jump in to, but the whole rest of the show, I'm pretty sure I'm explaining most of the things as we go, and it should be totally fine for you to jump right in. You might feel a little bit more stiff. You might need to be a little less intense as compared to how intense you would take it if you had started from the beginning, because we've been spending this whole entire time warming up because this show ran for like a little over an hour, right? But if it's your first time joining, yes, you can absolutely join in at any time. And if I'm in the middle of explaining something, you can jump right in because the instructions will be there. And most of the instructions, not all of them, should absolutely apply to basically the entire range of that skill, because I've been using the same instructions since I was much, 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 much less flexible when I started doing this show. Cool. All right. Let's see what else we got. Let's scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. User 18857 says, "Grab my yoga mat right now." Amazing. Thank you, thank you. And Relax has shared the live a bunch of times, sent roses. Oh, thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. Um, it's super helpful if you guys hit like, if you share the live while it's going. But if that is a little too hard for you because you're trying to do stretches and stuff at the same time, I totally understand. Don't worry about that. Um, but it does really help. I think because Relax and Iceheart have been sharing and really trying to tap the thingy, we had like 100+ people on the live for quite a bit up until the end of the show. So that was super helpful. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. I'm scrolling up. If it ever feels like I'm scrolling up way too long because there's not that much chat, uh, that is because I get other notifications as the owner of the live thing. Fee says, "If you have lower back issues, is it wise to do these exercises?" And somebody responded, "Probably not. He's not a therapist." That's a reasonable enough explanation. Yeah, absolutely. If it feels painful, If it hurts at all, you should probably not continue because it's impossible for me to know what amount of pain you're experiencing and what is going on with your back, right? There's a whole bunch of reasons for your low back to be unhappy, and pain is one of those crazy things where one person's pain tolerance or like amount of pain that they're feeling could be something that no somebody else might not notice at all, or somebody might have so much messed up with them but they don't feel any pain at all. In a different person with that much messed up about them, they might be, really, 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 really unhappy. And so, what you got? I don't know. And these exercises are going to be general and for generally healthy-ish people. So if you have pain, I generally encourage you to try it. Try a little bit, go nice and slow, see if anything is uncomfortable, see if anything hurts. Sometimes you might find what you think will cause you pain doesn't actually cause you pain and it's something a little bit different, and that would be wonderful because then you can do the exercise. But if you are feeling pain, please feel free to stop right there and don't do it because it's not worth it. Cool. All right. I'm gonna scroll down just a little bit back to the bottom of the live to see if there's anything else that's come in while I was rambling. And what else we got? We got a question from Super Prof Canada. Side split duration according to you, starting from a 60-70% mobility expression. I'm not sure what that sentence means. Side split duration according to you, starting from a 60-70% mobility expression. What do you mean by 60 to 70% mobility expression? Is that our starting point at the beginning of the stretch on that particular stretch that we're starting at like 60% of our maximum depth? Are we, what else could that mean?
Maybe it's like they're 60-70% flexible. How long will it take them to get their splits?
Maybe how long will it, okay. Let's see.
How long to
Let's see.
complete it if I'm starting point?
If I'm at starting point. Yes, you got it. Okay. Um, it depends. It depends on so many different things. So if you used to have your side splits, it's gonna come back really fast in comparison to somebody who's getting it for the first time. And that'll apply to basically pretty much anything that you do. If you used to be really muscular and then you stopped working out because you had kids or something, you got injured and you take some time off, you lost a whole bunch of muscle. To get all that muscle back will be like half the time, a third the time as it took to build it the first time. And the same applies for mobility. Things that you kind of had a skill you developed at one point, to get it back will not take nearly as long. If you're getting it for the first time, like me, there's a whole bunch of different things that will have a huge amount of impact. One is consistency, right? Two is what type of exercises you're doing. In our life, this thing is very much focused on building consistency, right? For most people, you're going to stop long before, like you'll just get bored long before you get to the side splits. You'll be like, not today. I'll try it tomorrow, and then you'll disappear, right? So that happens often when your thing is boring. It's not exciting. It's not that fun. And I try to make this show a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, so that it's easier for us to all practice a little bit of consistency. That being said, the exercises that I'm doing will help you up to a certain point. Once you get to some of the positions that you saw me in at the very end during our side split, at that depth, for most people, you're going to need a lot more intensity to get down deeper into the stretch. That is why for that last rep, I hang out and I use my own muscles to support my weight. I stop using my hands on the chair. And that intensity, shifting the intensity, is going to make a big difference with how fast you progress through your stretch. There's also a couple of different exercises that you might want to do to help isolate and figure out which muscles are holding you back, because your side splits is a combination of different muscles that need to be stretchy enough to get you into position. One of the ones that we do and recently has made a big impact on the depths of my side split is the pancake, our third stretch. And my pancake has gotten quite a bit better, and so has my side split. So there's a couple of different muscles. It's not just sitting in the side split and hanging out there that will get you there the fastest, typically. It will probably still get you there over enough time, but usually if you focus specifically on the muscles that are holding you back, then you need a little bit more work. That will also get you there a little bit faster. So I've seen YouTube videos where people claim that they were able to get down to the ground in like a month. I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been doing this show. So this exact thing where we do like a minute and a half, 2 minutes of live side splits together, right? Like I say it's a 30-second countdown, but usually I count a little bit slow. So it's mostly like 45 seconds. And then when I'm giving instructions, you're already sitting there, so it's a little longer than that. Um, we sit in that side split stretch for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes every single day. And then we do a whole bunch of these other stretches to warm up to help get deeper into that stretch. And I've been doing this show for hundreds of days, like 400 or 500 days. It's probably 500 days, closer to 500. It might be more than that. Long number of days. And I've made a whole bunch of steady progress. I plateaued a bunch. I changed some of the technique, got a little deeper, changed the technique, got a little deeper, and then now I'm in my final probably 6 inches, maybe. I think we measured it yesterday. It was like 16 centimeters. I think that's about 6 inches. And the progress has actually been speeding up for my last 6 centimeters, 6 inches, because I'm using slightly different exercises and I'm struggling more at the very end, where I used to just put my hands down and do the same third stretch all the time. Um, So, and like I said earlier, I started focusing more on my pancake because that was a muscle that was holding it, or those muscles involved in the pancake were holding it back. And suddenly I started making a lot of progress again. So for me, I'm realizing that there is some complexity to it. And the answer is I got no idea. The short answer is I got no idea. I've seen people make progress really fast, and I know personally I've been making progress quite slowly. So if you want, you can go check out the recordings of this live. If you go back however many hundreds of days, there will be a recording over on YouTube on the username splits on the side. So the same username as on TikTok that has a older version of where I was at in the side split. And if you see that, you'll be like, oh, he has made a bunch of progress. Hopefully that semi kind of sort of answers your questions. All right. How long to complete if I'm at a starting point? Yes, you got it. Like 3 months, 6 months, never do it. I think if you're able to stay consistent and you're able to work on it in a thoughtful way, you could probably get it done in like 6 months. Assuming you get all the other pieces right, right? Like you're doing the right exercises and you're also sleeping well, you're resting, you're not getting injured, you're not pushing yourself too hard, you're not going too crazy on some of the things. This life is not designed necessarily for you to get your side splits the fastest way possible because there are way more intense exercises that we could be doing that will push us in that direction. But for the sake of the general public and the internet, if we started doing those stretches, I would spend like half an hour explaining to do like 45 seconds of exercise. So uh, there are way more painful and way more effective versions of stretches to get into a side split. So we were holding this position. I'll give an example of what I mean by that. We were holding this earlier, right? To wrap up our show, our side split hold position. If you hang out in this exact same position, but instead of just relaxing and chilling, you start contracting all of the muscles on your inner thighs, start pulling everything together like you're trying to bring your legs together for about 10, 15 seconds, and then you chill, you relax, you try to sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. And that is a style of stretching called PNF. And I always forget what PNF actually stands for, but F stands for facilitation. And uh, that technique of stretching basically is trying to trick the brain into relaxing to let us get deeper into a stretch. And if you do PNF, it's going to be a lot faster than the static holds that we typically do. All right. So the answer is it depends on what type of stretching that you're doing, how consistent you are, how well you're actually, how seriously you're taking the stretching, right? Like if it's your number one goal and you're gonna make sure everything else works, you might get it way faster than 3 to 6 months. If you're like already here, or if you're already here, maybe it'll be even faster. But if you're all the way up here, if this is the best that you got, it's gonna take you much longer, right? So it just depends on where your starting point is and how much time you have to be committed to it. I do that. I have an app for these exercises, loaded stretch and PNF. Great, awesome. Proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. Proprioceptive. I always forget what the P stands for. All right. You do have an app for these stretches, loaded stretching and PNF. Amazing. Loaded stretching and PNF will take you much, 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 much faster than the static stretching that we typically do in this show. The static stretching will be great for beginners because you don't have to learn anything. You can kind of just find a way to rest in that position. You start to understand how your muscles are supposed to work, how you're supposed to rotate the legs, and is great for our show because it is here to help us build some consistency, right? Once you've built that consistency and you're ready to level up your training to however intense you want to level it up, then the world's your oyster. But the thing that typically holds most people back is not being able to stay consistent, and that's what we're trying to fix here. Cool. So, Super Prof Canada, I hope you have a lot of success working on your crazy exercises. If you want to do your own stretches while we run the live, just to have a little bit of emotional support that other people are also stretching at the same time, feel free to do that. Right? I don't mind at all. My goal, hopefully, I've reiterated enough, is to have everybody love moving and to practice a little bit of consistency. I talked about some of the videos that I make where I'm just trying to remind you to get a little tiny bit of movement, do a couple of calf raises, trying to do something. Because a lot of the time, a little tiny bit of motion, even if it's just a couple of shoulder circles, right, while you're waiting for your next phone call, your next meeting to start, that can help your whole entire body just to chill out, relax a little bit, and feel a little bit better. When you feel better, everything's better, right? So that's it. Add a little bit of movement. Doesn't have to be crazy. You can just do a little wiggle, do a little dance, shimmy a little bit. It'll make you feel better when you're shimmying, but then you'll also loosen up the muscles or relieve some stiffness. You'll get some synovial fluid pumping into your joints, helping them recover, and all that stuff is great for you. The only way you can make it better is if you're actually learning something really cool at the same time, right? If you're gonna actually go learn some real dance skills like some salsa, some bachata, some ballroom even, when you're learning how to move in a new way, that makes your brain work really hard, which is good for your brain, and helps you find a new cool hobby. So I encourage that even more. So if that is some encouragement to help you try something new and fun, like please, please go do something cool. Doesn't have to be this live, but we are here to help you practice a little consistency, try to make movement more fun, more enjoyable, so you can start integrating it into your life and enjoy just doing stuff. And if you have to be a little bit weird to do it, then hopefully you're comfortable being a little bit weird in public too. Cool. All right, it's 10:30. The live's been running for about 90 minutes. I am ready to wrap. Anna says, like the live, guys. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I was like, what are you talking about? I couldn't comprehend what that sentence meant until I finished reading it out loud. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. All right, we're done. It's time to go. I gotta film a YouTube video before I go to bed. So that's what I'll be up to. Look forward to this exact outfit in a YouTube video real soon. Hopefully in the next couple of days. Hopefully see you guys all real soon. Because again, we do this live every single day starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, which means we started an hour and a half ago, wherever you are in the world. And we'll be here tomorrow working on more side splits. Cool. Remember to build that consistency, keep moving, and hit follow, hit subscribe, because I want you to come back and see more content. Thanks.